What does a city put in my water, and is it good for me? In this video, we're gonna find out. Here's a glass of water. You wanna know whether the city puts anything good in this water. Well, not exactly. The city is gonna put chemical compounds in the water. Why? Because they have to treat the water. Most of the city's water is coming from nearby lakes and nearby rivers. This is something that we have to understand and be okay with. If they don't take the water from a nearby lake or a nearby river or even a well that they've dug, guess what? You and I are not gonna have water. So they take water from these places to give us what they call potable water. So what is an example of what they're gonna do? I'm glad you asked. They'll take water like this, and what they'll do is they'll add something to it called chloramine. What is chloramine? Chloramine is chlorine and ammonia mixed together. And a lot of cities started to use this earlier on because chlorine was getting a little bit too expensive. So they needed a cheaper alternative in order to make things work better for you and I as far as our bill is concerned. So they needed something cheaper to make sure our bill wouldn't be so high. So they started using chloramine to treat the water. So essentially, they're gonna add it to the water. What does that process look like? Let's take a look. So you wanna know how they treat the water. Here's how they do it. They take the water right here. They take something like this right here, and then they pour it in. They pour this one right in to the water. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, William, there's no way in the world the city takes something like this and adds it to the water. I'm here to tell you that's exactly what they do. Why? Because the water, when it comes from where? The river or the well, and it comes to the city, they've got to disinfect it. If they don't disinfect it, kind of like how I just did a second ago with the bleach in the water, guess what? You and I are going to have problems with said water. Water, when it comes in, the city's #1 job is to make sure that there's no bacteria coming in the water. That's their overall job. Yes, they got to make sure calcium is low, magnesium is low, arsenic is low, phosphates are low, nitrates are low. Yes, they got to make sure that stuff is low, but their main concern is bacteria, the percentage of bacteria low inside the water. They do not, as a matter of fact, they don't want any bacteria inside the water. So they have to add chemical additives to make sure that you and I don't have problems with the water when we go to use it, when we go to brush our teeth with it, when we go to take a shower with it, when we go to cook with it. They gotta make sure that you don't have any bacteria in the water. When you go to pay your water bill, that's what you're paying for. You're paying for a team of engineers to make sure that water doesn't have those extra bacterial components inside there as well. So let's take a look real quickly about some other things they might be adding to water. So this right here is the Water Quality Association. We're gonna take a look at what it has to say as far as chloramine is concerned. So you can look this up yourself, wqa.org. But what it says is many municipal water supplies have switched from chlorine to an alternative method of disinfection to reduce the formation of trimethylanes. Chloramine or chlorination is a treatment method employed by public water systems. More than 1 in 5 Americans uses drinking water treated with chloramines. Chloramines do pose a risk for hemodialysis patients and fish. Nitrosamines can be generated as byproducts from the use of chloramines, and they are strongly suspected of being human carcinogens. Okay, so these are the different contaminants that are created when they put that in there. Monochloramine, dichloramine, nitrogen trichloride. Sources of contaminant are the municipal treatment center. Potential health effects can cause hemolytic anemia when present in dialysis process water. Let's take a look at what hemolytic anemia really is for you and I. Let's see here. Hemolytic anemia is a condition where red blood cells are destroyed faster than they can be produced in the bone marrow. This leads to a shortage of red blood cells, which carry oxygen throughout the body. Causes defects within the red blood cells, sickle cell anemia. All of these different things are all caused by it. And here's some different symptoms for it as well. Here's the whole point, guys. When the city goes to use these really abrasive treatment techniques, there's always gonna be an effect of that for you and I. And that's what this channel is all about. We wanna bring awareness to you about what's going on with your water. So I hope you got educated today. I hope you learned a couple of things about water. I'm William the Water Guy. This is the place, this is the space where you get educated about water. We'll see you in the next video.